Okay, makeup prep. There's a lot of confusion around what's the best makeup prep to get the best out of your makeup so that it looks natural, doesn't draw attention to things that you don't want it to, and also gives you a longer lasting makeup. Now, there is no one set answer, and that's why it can be a little confusing as to what to do. But hopefully I can help you by just talking to you about the results that you're looking for and the skin type that you have. So, first of all, it's looking at your skin type and what your skin looks like at the end of the day. If you're finding that your skin looks quite oily, maybe your makeup's separated throughout the day, then we need to look at products that are going to help regulate that oil flow. But if you've got if you've got a skin rather that's actually looking quite dry and really quite sort of cakey or flaky, then maybe we need to look at something that's going to really give nourishment to the skin so that the skin's not drawing on your makeup as its source of moisturization and nourishment. So it's really looking at your skin type and also looking at that prep product for your makeup, ensuring that it actually matches the foundation in particular. So when you're looking at your skin prep products, you want to make sure that they really work in synergy so that the makeup works with it rather than against it. And then it's a little bit like that oil and water. You know, oil traditionally and water won't mix, and so they tend to repel and sort of float around each other. The same goes with your makeup. Now, the beauty here is if you've chosen an Adorn makeup prep product, they do suit all of our foundation types, no matter which foundation you go with. But let's first talk through the different makeup prep products that you can use. Bit of a mouthful. So we do have our traditional Hydration Plus primer that's been around for 17 years since the brand was founded by me. And it is still one of the most popular products that we have. This one is really good for your normal combination skin. So if you're someone that doesn't really have any issues with your skin, even if it's a little just aging that's concerning you, but you know, if your skin is normal combination, this is a really good product to start with. It is not heavy, it's lightweight, we don't use any synthetics, and it doesn't feel goopy on the skin, and it really goes on beautifully, and of course it's refillable. Then you've got something like our Glow Balm, and that is our morning glow balm that's a little heavier. Again, it suits all skin types, but more towards the drier or dehydrated, especially if you've got dull skin, because I'm going to use this one and you'll see that beautiful luminescence it gives the skin. So it gives the foundation that really beautiful skin-like appearance. And then you've got our Peptide Radiance, which is also another popular product for those of you that have definitely that normal combination, maybe even more the oilier sort of skin type, but you really feel that your skin's a bit dull. So that one is going to give you a tiny bit of a luminescence. It's a little thicker than the Hydrating Plus, but let's just quickly recap before I get started and show you how to prep. So your Hydration Plus primer, really good for your normal combination skin types. Okay, there is no luminescence to it. It's really just going to nourish the skin and regulate any little bits of dry, a little bit of oily, so that the makeup stays on and applies beautifully. Then you've got your Peptide Radiance, which is just a little more nourishing than the Hydration Plus. So great for you if you've got more of that dehydrated sort of skin. And it also has anti-aging ingredients in there. So that one again suits most skin types, but if you're feeling that your skin's a little on the dull side, but you want something quite lightweight because you are really not particularly dry, you're quite normal, then this is the one to go for. If you have the drier skin type and you're feeling dull and you want some super glow, then go with the Glow Balm. Okay, so it all is explained on the website, but let's get started with how and what to do when you're applying your prep. Okay, so first of all, make sure you've got cleansed skin. I'm not a big fan of cleaning my skin with a cleanser in the morning. If you've done a proper cleanse at night and you've got no problem with acne or congestion, then just warm water and a waffle cloth is suffice. I think we can over cleanse our skin, and that's often what causes a lot of the issues that we've got on our skin, is actually the over cleansing of it. But saying that, make sure that you've got rid of any remnants of makeup using, say, a cotton tip to get rid of any excess eye makeup. That's a big step, just to make sure that when you do get to your concealer, that you're not accidentally melting that into any of the leftover eyeliner or mascara and then giving this more of a grey appearance. Then what we want to do is get a balm, and our lip balm or our soothing barrier balm is perfect. We want to pop that on the lips to get the dryness of the lips under control, so that if you're going to put a lipstick on, and I don't know about you, I tend to pick my lip product right at the end, and if you want to go for a lipstick and you've got dry skin, not a great look. Now, the nose. Problematic area for most people, either the pores, dry skin, whatever it is, it's just a hard area to hide whatever that imperfection is. But a little tip that I want to give you, if you've got dry skin, especially in the cooler months, or if you've been unwell and you've got the redness and maybe the dry skin and makeup's clinging to it and looking flaky, one little tip that I've got for you is to put less foundation on that area. As much as you want to go heavier, it's really not going to look good. You don't have the same skin makeup as you do on the rest of your face. Okay, you've not got that same fleshy area. It's quite bony, and so you'll find that the skin's a lot harder to work with and to hide when there's issues. So what I would suggest, a lot like your lips, give your skin a little bit of extra nourishment around the nose during those times. But if you've got your makeup on and you're like, whoa, it's really quite flaky looking and you can see the makeup, a little tip, grab the teeniest, like this, the teeniest amount. And I don't have any foundation on at the moment, of course, we're still in the preparation, but I just thought I'd mention this, is that when you've got your foundation on and if it's looking a little cakey, you just want to dab, just dab, 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 dab. Just dab your primer over the top really lightly, and that's just going to help thin out the foundation a little bit and just give those dry flaky bits of skin a bit more hydration, making it less visible. Okay, so there's a little tip if you're finding that the nose is a problem area for yourself. Okay, so popping it all around the face like this means that you're getting even distribution of the product. If you just slap it in one spot, you're trying to spread it, and you're going to find that most of the concentration of the product is just in this central middle area. So popping it everywhere means you get an even distribution of the product. You're wasting less product because you're not going to need to apply more than one pump for the face and the neck. Okay, really get into your eyebrows too, because often we find that there's a bit of skin or leftover makeup in there, and that can start to look a little dull. So really massage the primer that you're using or makeup moisturizer into that area. Okay, then what I like to do is mist my face. Now you've got the option of the rose water, or you've got the option of the peptide, which is a vegan peptide. For those of you that are wanting more that plumping, maybe anti-aging is more your thing, then that is the one to go with. The rose water suits everybody. It's a beautiful hydrating product. And in fact, this is a product that I'd recommend you carry around with you in your bag, because you'll find that your makeup often is a reflection of the environment you're in. So if you're in heating or you're in cooling, then you're going to find that your makeup reacts to that. So your skin, if dehydrated from aircon or heating, is going to use your makeup as almost a source of nourishment, almost a source of hydration, and that is often why it disappears. If you've got an oily skin, of course the oil in your skin is dissolving the makeup. So using a rose water or a face mist throughout the day is giving your skin that drink that it needs for hydration, rather than it relying on using the makeup. So again, you can use the travel size or grab the full size. These are refillable as well. So spritz throughout the day, but the reason I've spritzed it over my makeup prep, the moisturizer, is because when the skin is damp, your skin is able to draw on the products more. It's able to get the products and the ingredients just at that deeper level so that you're going to get more of the results that you're looking for. If your skin's dry, it's not going to take on the products or the serums that you're using. Now you can in fact use a serum. You would have put that on before the makeup prep. That's your first step. So you would serum, mist, and then put your cream on or your primer on or whatever it is that you're popping on. And then if you're a sunscreen wearer, this is where you would put your sunscreen on. Okay, so again, dot it all around the face and the neck, backs of the hands, put that on, and then you're ready to go. If you're using the Adorn sunscreen, you'll find that that's quite nourishing enough that you will, even if you're using the loose minerals, it'll really look quite beautiful and dewy. The sunscreen is not thick and goopy, it's a natural sunscreen, but it does give you a little bit of nourishment so that you can work it with your foundation and that it will look quite natural, which is really what you want. Now, I'm not using sunscreen today because I'm inside all day, and so I'm going to show you just the step that I like to do when I'm not using sunscreen, and that is using one of our oils. So the day oil is the one that I prefer in the morning if I'm not using sunscreen. If you're using sunscreen, you won't need a face oil. There's enough nourishment in that sunscreen to avoid an oil. Now, the reason for a face oil, even if you've got a blemished skin, natural oils do not congest the skin. They in fact give the nourishment that the skin needs. It helps fight free radical damage, and in fact it actually fights bacteria because there needs to be water present for bacteria to flourish. So if you are someone that has bacteria like acne, or you've got any kind of issue with the skin, in fact, an oil is great because it's going to prevent any bacteria or anything like that causing more issues on the skin. And the oils that we use are non-comedogenic, so they're not going to congest the skin any further. Okay, so they're really beautiful for the product, for the skin. Think of an oil as the food for your skin, and your moisturizers are the hydration and the drink that your skin needs. And if you use both, your skin will be so much better for it, and you don't need to use a lot. So again, sunscreen at this point, or you're going to use the day antioxidant face oil or the blemish oil. Okay, so again, I just like to pump. One pump on my hand is enough for the face, and I really massage it into my hands, and then I pop it all over my face. Now, I do avoid the eye area because this tends to be a little on the oily area. If you've got quite dry skin, that's fine. But when you've got normal skin around the eyes, maybe it's just a little aged, but it's more on that normal oily side of things, and maybe you struggle with eye makeup staying put. You want to put less skincare around this area, so no eye creams in the morning. Avoid putting the oil, and you could also probably avoid putting your moisturizer there. So there's a little tip if you're wanting longer lasting eye makeup throughout the day. I also want to talk about the prep the night before for your makeup in the morning. One of the products I love to use is our overnight sleep mask. It's this beautiful gel, and in fact I used this last night. It's a beautiful gel, so lightweight, it's cooling. Like if you feel like your skin's angry or the weather's quite hot, it's so cooling and it's just so beautiful. And what this does, all you need to do is just cleanse your face and pop that on. You can put a serum underneath it, but if you wear it on its own, that's fine. Don't use it any more than a couple of times a week because you don't want to lose the potency of this working, because the skin can get used to products. But wear this the night before. Put it on at least half an hour before bed because you don't want it wearing off onto your pillow. But this gives like the biggest hydration boost to the skin, plumps it up, and it just looks so glowy and delicious in the morning. So perfect if you know you've got a big day the next day. Maybe you're just feeling gross and you just need to put it on. This is a beautiful thing to put on, and it really knocks back that redness in the skin. Perfect if you've been naughty and got a little sunburn as well. Now, if you're about to go to an event and it's during the day or it's a nighttime thing, pop it on for half an hour. Take it off. You do need to remove it, because if you don't, it'll go a little powdery when you put your makeup on. So use this about half an hour before an event, and it really just gives that skin that beautiful plumpness and makes your skin even more beautiful when you're popping on all of your prep products. Okay, one other step I want to talk about is just giving the skin a little bit of colour. Often as we get older, we lose that beautiful colour in our face, and that's really what leads to that dull appearing skin. And so one little simple product that can help with that, especially for those of you that don't always want to wear foundation every day, is definitely looking at the Glow Balm that I've just put on. Now, obviously in my phone that I'm filming on, you can't see it as much, but in real life you can see, and you can see it on this, it's quite dewy looking, and it makes your foundation look quite dewy as well. Wear that by itself, maybe just a bit of concealer, and you're good to go. But one of my favorite things to do once or twice a week is to use the tan drops. Okay, it's a very watery product, so it blends effortlessly with any product that you want. So what I like to do is mix that in with either my serum or my moisturizer. So I'll pop the moisturizer or the serum in my palm, and then I'll put some drops of this into it. I'll mix it and put it all over my face, my neck, any area that I'm exposing. So if I'm going to be showing my chest, I make sure I do my chest as well. Behind the ears, get a really good blend, and then make sure you wash your hands, because you don't want the tan on your hands. Now, it is a beautiful color. It's not an orange color, so it is very natural. And the reason I like doing this a couple of times a week is that then I don't feel so dull. I don't feel so, I don't know, get that unhealthy sort of look to the skin. It gets rid of the grayness, and it just makes me feel good about myself when I wake up in the morning and I've got this little bit of warmth. Okay, now the drops that you would use depend on how dark you want it to go. So if you've got very, very fair skin, then I would recommend just starting off with 2 or 3 drops, and then you'll know the next morning whether that's the color that's dark enough for you. If it's not, then your next application you might do 3 or 4 drops. You can do as many drops as you want. The more drops, the darker the color. Now, you can also use this in your body products, which I love. So if you're showing a little bit of your lower leg, don't like wearing stockings, then this is a product you can add into your moisturizer for the body as well. So that's a little product that I love to use in part of my skincare routine a couple of times a week. I probably use it more frequently when the months are warmer and I want more of a darker color.